Hi, this is Chef Inspire. I'm here today to talk to you about the 3 power moves. Now, the 3 power moves, I'm going to break them down like this. These are the 3 power moves. The first one is thinking. The second one is feeling. And the third one is doing or acting. Now, before I go into these, each one of them, and break them down, what I want to do is tell you a little story. Just imagine this. This is a story about me walking down the street, and then all of a sudden this old guy, this old man came up to me and said, "Hey, how you doing, Herb? How are you?" And I was like, "Do we know each other?" Kinda, but could you come with me? And I just felt instant trust, so I just went with him. So I'm walking with him, and he walks down the street, and he gets to this warehouse. And inside of this warehouse, he takes me inside, and he says to me, "Have a look, take a look around." So as I'm walking through this warehouse, I'm looking all around, and I'm seeing all these things stocked on the shelves. And then I started to realize that all of these things that were stocked on the shelves were things that I said I wanted. I physically said in my mind and in my mouth, with my mouth, that I want these things. So I was like, wow, that was the thing I wanted. That was the thing I wanted. This was the thing I wanted. I always wanted one of these. And we started to walk through, and it was hundreds, maybe even thousands of things stocked on the shelves, parked in the garages, that were the things that I wanted. And I asked him, "What kind of place is this?" This is the things that of all my dreams. All of my dreams are inside of this building. How did it get here? He brought me into another room, and he sat me down. And when he sat me down, he said this. He said, "Once you thought something, you created it." Let me say that again. Once you thought something, you created it. It was your mind creating the matter. Your thoughts became the thing that you thought about. But what you did was you stopped right there. So I had to build this place to store all of your thoughts, all of your desires. I built this place just to store all of your thoughts and your desires, because you have just brought them into, you have actually created them, but you didn't bring them into full manifestation. So I said to him, how do I get these things from my thoughts to full manifestation? He said, "You must use the 3 power moves." And let me give you what those 3 power moves are. Again, here they go. Thinking, feeling, doing. Let me break them down. We are creators, just like our Father. And once we think something and feel it and act upon it, it becomes real. But we've already created that thing by just thinking about it. When we think about something, we create it in the spirit realm. We create it. It is already created. Our job is to move it from that realm to this realm where we are right now. All of those things that I thought about were still in the spirit realm, but they were created, but they were not manifested. So let me move you to the next step. The next step is to feel. Now, how do I feel something into existence? Okay, I'm going to use a house for an example. I'm thinking about a house that I want, and not just thinking about it vaguely. I'm thinking about the rooms, how many rooms I want, how many bathrooms I want, the size of the kitchen. I'm thinking about do I want a detached garage or attached garage? I'm thinking, do I want enough space for me to have a pool in my backyard? I'm thinking about the house in detail. And I'm actually writing it down. So this is the first step in the manifestation process. The power moves. Number one is to think it in detail and write it down on paper. Once you do that, that thing has been taken out of your thought process and it's been put in paper. In the book of Habakkuk, the Bible says, write down your plans, make them clear so that you can read them at a glance. We must learn how to take our thoughts from our head and put them on paper so that we can see them, so that we can have detail and not envision these things in the smallest minute detail. Write it down on paper. Next step, next power move number 2 is to feel this thing. Now, how do I feel a house? I feel myself after I put it on paper and imagined every detail. Then I close my eyes and I see myself in my mind's eye walking through the house. I'm walking through every room. I'm seeing every room. I'm looking at all the nuances of the house. I'm looking at the space. I'm looking at the fireplace. I'm looking at everything that is in this house. I'm envisioning it in my mind. I have my eyes closed, but I see it. I see it with my mind's eye. And then I feel myself, what I would feel like as I am walking through this thing when they hand me the key and say, welcome to your new home. This is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the feeling of having that thing right now in my hands. It is mine. This is the second power move in the manifestation process. Number 1, think it. Write it on paper. Number 2, vision it, envision it in your mind's eye until you can actually see yourself walking through it with your eyes closed. Powerful, powerful, power moves. And the last step is to do it or act it. Now, what do I mean by do it or act it? Once you have created that house in your mind, and then you have seen it in your mind's eye, now it's time to walk in the direction of that thing. Now, how do I walk in the direction of it? I go out, I get me a realtor, I get me a mortgage person, and I go out maybe once or twice a month and I go look at houses. But I don't just go look at any house. I give the realtor the exact specification of the house that I had envisioned in my mind, so that he's only looking for houses that match this criteria. He's only looking for my house, the house that I have created in my mind that is already real, that is already out there. Now, it may be a house that meets all the criteria that needs some work, but so what? It is the house that I was looking for. So I walk the walk. I go out and I do the things that are necessary to actually physically manifest that thing in my life. I'm looking at houses. I'm checking them out. I may not even have the money to purchase the house, but the money doesn't matter. Money follows God-inspired ideals. If you have an inspired ideal, where there is a vision, there will be provision. The money will come when you start to walk in the direction. This thing will just start to unfold, and then it will manifest. It will become reality. I'm not speaking hype. I'm speaking something that I've done in my own life time and time again. Power moves. The 3 power moves to manifest whatever you desire. Here we go again. Number 1, to think it in detail and write it down on paper. Number 2, to envision it, to see myself actually doing the thing that I have written down on paper, feeling it like it's mine, like it's in my hand, like I have it already. And number 3, walking physically in the direction of the thing that I desire. Making the moves. Making the power moves. These 3 power moves will manifest whatever you desire in your life. You will get it. Why? Because once you thought it, it was already created. Once you envision it, it is already yours. And once you start to walk in the direction of it, this is activating your faith so that the Creator can move everything out of your way, or every obstacle out of your way, to make that thing a reality in your life. You get this? You got it? I hope so. 3 power moves. Power moves. Let's start creating our lives instead of just letting our lives happen. Create our lives. This is Chef Inspire. I hope you get it. I hope you got it. If so, guess what? Your life will never, ever be the same. God bless.